Hey guys, what is up? It's Dusty here, and welcome back to another crypto video. Wise Cryptos just posted on Twitter, Simpsons explaining DLT but branding POW as energy gobbling and solving useless math problems. Major crypto media site called red-handed with Bitcoin bias. And a picture, The Simpsons proof of work blasted as useless biased media called red-handed. So the Simpsons just put online a show that is talking about Bitcoin, or really in reality, cryptocurrency and proof of work, and they're branding it off as something stupid. Now, before we get further on into this video, make sure you comment down below what country you're watching from, and also press the like button if you're enjoying the daily crypto content, and same for the subscribe button. Make sure you tap it real quick to subscribe for more daily crypto content. So, I briefly talked in my previous video about Bitcoin and about The Simpsons and how there's very often these slight little messages that are in The Simpsons show. But here I find that this whole ordeal is not even as big as I would have expected it to be. I would have actually expected a lot of the XP community to come forward and kind of bring up, hey, the Simpsons even are kind of saying that proof of work like Bitcoin is just stupid, energy gobbling, useless stuff. So why the frick would you ever want to have that in there? I saw a couple of key figures in the community talk about it, but not way as many as I would have expected. So here I make quickly this video to just showcase my opinion about this. I personally think The Simpsons are right to a good extent, and also think The Simpsons are really trying to showcase something here. In the whole show about The Simpsons, there's a couple of other things that they talked about. For example, that Satoshi is known. I discussed all those things in my previous video, so if you want to know more about that, make sure you check my previous video out. Now, something that most of y'all came here for, the most interesting piece of content of the day by far is right here. SysMG showed me this, and he says, global cross-border payment by October 2020, G20 XRP. And then there's a little bit of a picture that is actually from the Communique or the G20.org. It's a document, and it says here, G20 finance ministers and central bank governors meeting, 22nd to 23rd of February 2020, Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Realizing opportunities of the 21st century for all in, of course, Saudi Arabia right now. So if you have no idea what the G20 is, the G20 or Group of 20 is an international forum for the governments and central bank governors from 19 countries and the European Union. Founded in 1999 with the aim to discuss policy pertaining to the promotion of international financial stability. The G20 has expanded its agenda since 2008, and heads of governments or heads of state, as well as its finance ministers and foreign ministers, have periodically conferred at summits ever since. It seeks to address issues that go beyond the responsibilities of any one organization. So clearly, this already is talking about global remittances as well. I mean, the whole remittance market is not something that can be fixed within one country. So definitely here, the Group of 20 is I guess, really the category where this should be discussed in. Membership of the G20 consists of 19 individual countries plus the EU, or European Union. The EU is represented by the European Commission and by the European Central Bank. Collectively, the G20 economies account for about 90% of the GWP, the gross domestic product, but then over the whole world, so not only domestic. 80% of world trade, or if excluding EU intertrade, 75%, and 2/3 of the world population, and actually approximately half of the world land area. So again, this Group of 20 most likely accurately represents the whole world, because we're taking up 90% of global wealth, and yeah. With the G20 growing in stature after its inaugural Leaders Summit in 2008, its leaders announced on September 25, 2009 that the group would replace the G8 as the main economic council of wealthy nations. Since its inception, the G20's membership policies have been criticized by some intellectuals, and its summits have been focused for major protests by left-wing groups and anarchists. The heads of the G20 nations held summits twice in 2019 and twice in 2010. Since the November 2011 Cannes summit, G20 summits have been held annually. So that was a little bit of backstory to the G20, just for all the people that are like, wanting to know a little bit more. We won't go too deep into it, as in the history and whatever, because then we would be here for a long day. But quickly, here's the chair rotation, I believe, and actually also the countries that are in it, I believe. There's a better list here. There you have it. Here's all the countries that are in it: Argentina, Australia, Brazil. You can just quickly check through it. And of course, the European Union. And then below here, all the leaders that are, of course, in this whole conference. You can see here Xi Jinping from China. Yeah, you can most likely know most of these names. Angela Merkel, of course, the chancellor in Germany, and Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud, who's the king of Saudi Arabia, and he is actually also right now the chairman of the G20, and the conference now is held over in Saudi Arabia as well. And if we check out the message that was there, because this is really important stuff and really game-breaking stuff, we recognize the need to enhance global cross-border payment arrangements to facilitate lower costs and swifter transfers, including for remittances. We ask the FSB, in coordination with the Committee on Payments and Market Infrastructures and other relevant standard-setting bodies and international organizations, to develop a roadmap to enhance global cross-border payment arrangements by October 2020. When I first saw this blew my mind. This is all working underneath our eyes. This is all getting set up, and we're watching it. We're watching it live. And now we have a date on all of our expectations. Now we have a date on a lot of this emancipation that's working up here. We have a date. We have a due date to develop a roadmap to enhance global cross-border payment arrangement by October 2020. There is a lot that's going to be happening between now and October. I mean, at first we knew that there was a lot of stuff coming up. We knew for a fact that a lot of stuff was coming up, but now there's no backing off. In this G20, so all the most important countries, they collectively decided now that before October 2020, something's going to have to be determined, and they're going to have to fix an issue. And I don't know if that sounds quite bullish to you guys, but at least to me, this is really amazing. Because if we're looking at all the options right now, I guess you have like 3, maybe 4. One would be JP Morgan. That JP Morgan as a global standard, I don't know about that. But then, of course, the second would be a global stable coin. So not a stable coin that's held by one specific bank, but another stable coin by any other bank to act, again, as a remittance provider, or whatever you want to call it, liquidity provider in there, so you don't have XRP but any other currency. Now, of course, there's going to be different issues with any other coins you're going to pick, and there's some benefits. Just depends. There's always a pro and a con. For example, what coin or what price is going to be stable to, right? What price? Yeah, what price is going to be pegged to? Is it going to be stable to the US dollar? Because maybe some other country or some coin would not like that. Maybe they want something else. And from that perspective, again, there might be issues coming up there for other countries to use it. For in this case, XRP has their own value that's not pegged to the US dollar in the practical sense. And there's another option of, I guess, holding on to Swift, which is definitely not the preferred option. I mean, anybody with a clear mind can guess that. Swift has been here for like 50 years or so. They're kind of outdated. I guess they're kind of done for. So definitely not the preferable option, I would say. And then, of course, there is XRP/Ripple. If you guys know any other big solution that they could go for, you let me know in the comment section. You let us know in the comment section. Because to me, it really looks like a good sign here. And there is, of course, some things we're not stating right here. There's, of course, a lot. But hey, it's a good option. It's a good opportunity. And I'm really quite excited for what this is going to bring to us. But really bullish sign, really amazing, really cool stuff. If we scroll through, There's actually about VET. We'll get to that in a second. Leonidas just posted Rockbank partners with BDO Unibank through RippleNet. BDO now a confirmed RippleNet member. Just thought I should quickly mention this stuff because I don't post it that often anymore that Ripple gets partnerships going just because they have so many of them. And when I say so many, I mean a ridiculous amount. I think any day there's another one. You know, maybe like every day there's another RippleNet member that hops on. And if I were to talk about it every day, it would just be crazy. It would be ridiculous because there's so many of them, guys. And a lot of them are important, but not that important unless they really do something crazy within the day. Because, for example, now here, Rackbank hopping on is good, but it's not really changing anything until we really see things moving. You know, until they really start to go for ODL instead of just being a RippleNet member. You know, that's when we're really going to see those changes. That's when it really is going to become important. And I think that's also the moment when we really need to report when they start to use ODL, because that really hits in our basket of XRP. The United has also posted on Twitter, Trade Satoshi exchange is closing down. Remove your assets ASAP. So Trade Satoshi posted, Trade Satoshi is closing down. Read the announcement for details, tradesatoshi.com. Please make sure all withdrawals are completed before March 1st. Please do not deposit. Deposits will no longer be processed. Don't know if this is a scam out. Some people are assuming it is. I don't know if they just got illiquid. I don't know exactly what happened there. All I know is if you had funds on there, get them out. And I think we as a community should put more effort into promoting this type of stuff when exchanges look scammy or when exchanges have some issues and things like that. Because I personally would not know where to look for all this info. Is it like hashtag exchange scam or what? Because I don't have any money on Trade Satoshi, but if I did, and I wasn't on Twitter for the last like a couple of hours to check through stuff, I wouldn't have probably noticed this. So I think it's also important for me to give this a little retweet, maybe like just retweet it, just to make sure that people see this type of stuff. Because I really dislike what Cryptopia did with their exit scam or illiquid, whatever you want to call that. I really dislike what they did, but of course it was to grab money. But the thing is, if I had known up front a little bit more about what their plans were, I could have potentially gotten out a little bit earlier and not lost all or a lot of my Electronium. Because, by the way, that's one of the big reasons I never talk about them anymore. Is first of all, because they keep going down all the time. And second of all, mostly because I don't really hold any. I don't think I have any at all, just because Cryptopia, or Craptopia, how I like to call it, closed down, and that's where most of mine was on, because Electronium could not really be traded anywhere else. And then briefly about VeChain, Rono said on Twitter, or Roy Noom, VET ready for the next leg up. Watch the next hours today closely. After the jump from BTC earlier today, it wouldn't surprise me. And then there's a little chart here, which is quite funny, because if we check out the VeChain price in real right now, is the 30th place and plus 3.5%. Would have actually expected it to do a little bit crazier, right? Because here it's plus 2.5 versus BTC, but versus BTC, I think they're like plus 1 or so percent. I actually thought that he was on a very good path or something crazy, but actually wasn't that heavy. VeChain is doing quite solid, but not that amazing. Against BTC, they even declined from this point on forward. And here they're $6,830, or at least 0.006. Let's check it out. 6,844, and here they were 6,830. So actually, we did increase in price from that point, but still, I thought VeChain would have done a little bit better over the day. Didn't do so, so not too much to report on there. I wanted to, but didn't do too well. Guys, that was it for this video. Hopefully you all enjoyed. What do you think is going to be happening in October? Is it going to be Ripple related, or is it going to be completely Swift, Visa, or whatever, something else related? We don't know yet. What do you think about that? Let me know in the comment section, and I'll see you guys again in another crypto video. Take care, everybody, and have a very, very nice day. Enjoy your new week, because it's almost Monday already.